And welcome to the Hall Preezy Universe. King HP, also known as Father, and this is Dora, not the Explorer. And we got some stuff to talk about. Season 3, Episode 8 of
Eight.
From. It's called
Gorgeous.
Thresholds. We got some predictions. We got some yeah, we got some stuff to talk about.
Oh, it's okay.
So my question to you is, what are your early predictions? What are your early
I think
synopsis of
that
what's going
Fatima's gonna have to go in the dungeon
to happen? Ooh. So you think
because someone has to pay. Whatever? Like, why did she have to stab that lady? She was supposed to die of cancer. My girl Tilly was supposed to die of cancer. A
that
natural cause, not stabbed to death with garden shears. She didn't even die during a good season either. You know what I mean? There's so many episodes where there's so much green in that greenhouse. There's life. She had to die when it's snow outside by rotten fruit. She deserved better. My poor Tilly.
I I low key agree with that. She did deserve better. However, comma,
She was an op. That was
yeah,
everyone's thought until that happened. She's an
they
op.
definitely had it in for her. They definitely had it in for her. Do you think, not to be funny, do you think Tilly is a cancer, hence why she killed her? But no. Um,
No, I think no, I think I don't
that would be
know.
crazy.
Well, I mean, like, with Boyd and the bugs in his blood, and like I've said, like about vampires, like maybe her blood just wasn't good, so they weren't gonna try and eat her anyway. Like they don't want cancer organs. Honestly, who wants cancer organs?
And I
Not the
think
monsters.
well, I don't think those monsters here. I think they do it to toy with. I think they do it to just to mentally break. Like they said they were gonna mentally break Boyd, right? And I don't know. Would you say they're doing a good job? Because right now Boyd is,
Boyd's
I don't know.
slipping. Our guy, my bestie over there, he's not doing too hot.
I think Boyd is in a bad place because right now we know this, right? Fatima is
Turning. She
Fatima
obviously
is
is pregnant.
yeah, but that's your daughter-in-law. Like this where it really trips out for Boyd a little bit because like that's your daughter-in-law. And it's like, okay, cool. And she's pregnant, but she's not.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we doing here?
Little Albert. He wasn't a real, he was just a myth. My poor guy. My
It's a
poor
myth.
girl, maybe even. Oh, eating just so she can be turned into a monster. Baloney.
So, you know what's crazy? Couple theories out here, right?
Hmm.
One, the Fatima, the Fatima effect. The woman in the kimono was definitely getting, from the very first time we saw her try to drown Elgin, she was
Hmm.
very like pale and pasty. And now she's like more fleshed out. So could it be that
Oh,
as Fatima is getting worse, the kimono lady is getting stronger, getting more,
oh, I see
you
what you're
know,
saying. Yes. Which goes with the fairies theory because with the fairies, they're trying to become the person they're pretending to be when they come to you, like in fake form kind of thing.
I wonder how that's gonna be. I mean, I don't know if it's fairies or not. I mean, coincidentally, the
Hmm.
theme song for the show is by the Pixies, and I
Hmm.
don't think they do anything by accident, right? They didn't just stumble on that. I was like, oh, that sounds cool. They like specifically picked. everything from
Mhm.
what you see, who wears what, dark colors, light colors, songs,
Mhm.
themes, all that stuff. So yeah, it's possible. But do we think that Fatima? What do you think is going to happen to Fatima? Do you think she's turning monster? Do you think that it's just killing her regardless? Like whatever is going on with her is wiping her out. What is the deal with Fatima?
I definitely think whatever the because the thing is I'm trying to think of, I guess we'll see in the preview when we show the preview what outfit Fatima's wearing, because they do show Elgin pulling her and holding her hand, kind of guiding her to the um the bunker or whatever that thing is called by those people.
About
Or maybe the
where
ghost will take the kimono off and put it on her and be like, yes, I'm you now, kind of thing.
I don't know that one. I don't know if they're even related. I just know that woman is getting more and more fleshed out. She's getting more and more
And
like,
stronger and more able to talk to him.
yeah. Like when she first started, she was just like looking. Now she's whispering in his ear. Her skin does not look as pasty. She looks like if you ever seen the movie it's the Vampires vs Werewolves. I can't think of the name with Kate Beckinsale.
Underworld.
Oh, Underworld, right?
Hmm.
When in the sequel, or not even the sequel, but like when the vampires were trained, when they come back, when they're getting like revitalized through the blood and stuff, they're like they're fleshing themselves out. They look real
Yes, I
bad when
see
they
what
first
you're
come back.
saying. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I feel like as they're helping her, or as Elgin may be helping her, slash what they don't know is it's hurting Fatima, it's making this
Yes.
kimono
Yeah.
lady stronger.
I agree. I agree, actually.
Do you think the kimono lady could have something to do with what goes on in the forest? Because they made numerous references now that something is
I don't
in that.
know, because I feel like all of these people that have come to different people, like the whoever came to Sarah, besides the little boy, whoever was like whispering in her ear. Same thing with Jade. Same thing with Tabitha. Same thing with Abby. Same thing with anyone who's heard something. Like we really don't know if it's good or not, because it seems like all of them have their own ulterior motive. Like the kids want to be released. The cicadas got released from the old man that Boyd got the worms in him from because he wanted
Right.
to die. Like every single monster that comes to them, like I was telling you, like I think they have a favorite. And the monster just goes to whoever their favorite is and tries to get themselves free from whatever is they're suffering from individually. Like with the kids, Tabitha, they want her to save them. What was it? I guess Jade and Victor's whole thing is the puppet. They needed to find the puppet to release whatever the puppet didn't want to be in the
I don't
dungeon
think Jade
anymore.
knows about the puppet yet, except he did see the puppet.
He's
Matter of
seen the
fact, he
puppet
did. You're right. He
twice.
did see the
Yeah,
puppet.
he's seen it a few times now. That's what I'm saying.
I
Like
mean, he
every
yelled at the
monster,
puppet.
huh?
He
Oh yeah,
yelled at the
Victor
puppet.
was putting the paws on that puppet, like Woody, choke, damn it, choke. You know what I mean? Like he was trying his best to get that thing to talk.
Yeah, he definitely was. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, okay, you bring up Victor and the talking dummy,
Hmm.
um, Jasper, right?
Yes.
What kind of secret? Because this, what if he tells him like, yeah, I just remember everybody getting killed. Like, is the ventriloquist? Does he need to have a hand in his back? Like,
I
I
don't
know his
know.
dad thinks it's crazy.
I don't know because that the body that Elgin found also does have what looks like Jade's clothes on. Unless somehow, I mean, Christopher was a bigger dude, but do you think they somehow get the person before them's clothes without them knowing that they're picking those particular outfits? Like the kimono lady, if she was someone before at a different time, did Fatima get drawn to her clothes because she was gonna go have kind of the same thing happen to her that happened to this lady?
I think I think there's a definite connection, right, with the Fatima
Mhm.
thing. I definitely think that. I do wonder if it's like, is she taking over for her? Is she not? I'm not really sure. But I would be a little bit remiss if I didn't say, what if they have nothing to do with each other? Like, what if we're just totally off on this one? Like the kimono lady is actually after Tabitha because those are her children
Yeah.
that, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, like he brings the
nah,
wrong
nah.
the wrong lady. Like he was supposed to bring Tabitha to the thing, but he brought Fatima. Like, God damn it, wrong bitch, man. Like, come on. Like, why would you do this?
That would be crazy. You want to do the episode 8 trailer?
Yeah,
I
let's do
could
the
pop that
trailer. We can
episode.
show that, and then yeah, we can talk about it after, or pause and come back during different parts because there's different
Okay.
parts.
Let me put us up here and we go click this.
It's
Whatever
this.
is inside me is still there. What if it happens again? I killed someone. You need help! Help! I need help! Anyone see anything? Hiding every night from those things. That's one thing. This is
Officer
something
Acosta is always so
I
pissed
saw
off.
before. I feel like something wants
Yeah,
me to go in here.
that's
We can go in
crazy.
together if you want. Ready?
I don't know. I really want Ethan to get stuck in that tower, friend. Like that's where I'm at. I don't want him to. If they go in together, I feel like Ethan's not coming out. Is how I feel. I feel like whatever she sees in when they go, because do they not know that they need to light the thing to go in, or do you think since she's already
I don't
been in?
think I don't think anyone knows that but Boyd. If Boyd even really knows that, or he just
Yeah.
did it instinctively because he just happened to have it. I
Well,
don't.
because remember when Boyd had the worms in him, he would just kind of flash to wherever he was at. Like when he thought he was opening the door to the diner, he actually was. He walks into the church and the ballerina's just dancing, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So do you
yeah,
think
that
since
was.
they're already connected that she's just gonna be able to walk in, but maybe Ethan's just gonna get stuck like outside and she's gonna be able to go in and Ethan's just kind of standing there like, where did she go? Kind of thing.
I think it could be that. I also think it could be her like being stuck, mentally being in a whole nother place, answering questions, talking, her body being stuck, and Ethan being like, Julie, 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 Julie. You know what I mean? And
Yes, yeah,
no
that would
luck.
make sense. Well, because that's kind of what it looked like in the diner, if you remember too. Remember when Boyd was like, when he was about to walk out, he walked into the church and then he saw the ballerina dancing, and then he just kind of is still in the diner and he falls backwards and like gets all bloody. And Tien Chen and Kenny are like, oh no, what happened, Boyd? Like they don't even know. He's just like frozen there. Maybe she's just frozen in that little spot, but her mind's in the tower, like going through the process of seeing whatever she sees.
Okay. That would be crazy too. But I do think, I don't know, man. I think there might be a main character. I mean, you still have a season finale. So we're on episode 8, y'all. And you want me to read the synopsis?
Yes.
Okay, so episode 8 is called Thresholds, right? And it says accusations start flying and truths come to the light in the aftermath of a tragedy. Now we know that tragedy. Tilly was killed in cold blood, y'all. Trying to stop her from eating rotten fruit.
My girl Tilly. R.I.P. Tilly.
All right.
Gone but never
Victor
forgotten.
gone but never forgotten. That's a fact. Victor struggles to recover long buried memories about the town's past. Now, here's where it says Julie and Ethan search for answers about the mysterious ruins in the woods. I don't know if that means Randall or no, she's right. It is, yeah, it's Ethan. Yeah, Ethan
Yeah,
was
because I'm
definitely in that
wondering what
commercial
happens to Randall then. Since they do go back to town, why does she go back with Ethan? I guess we'll figure that out.
because them kids is bad. Jim has no control. Jim done lost it. That
The
is
whole
crazy. I
Matthews
didn't even.
family is a cancer. They should have been gone, not my girl Tilly. You know, that's how I feel.
Tilly was so excited when she got to From off that bus.
She was dancing in the fucking rain. Just
Yeah, she was out there, y'all. Tilly was happy to. Tilly
she was
was.
spinning. She was like, "Yes, life is so good here." Oh, my poor lady. We all thought she was the op working for the demons.
Yes.
Were we all wrong? She
Yeah, I
really
thought that
did
was
have
crazy.
cancer.
That was crazy. You want to know why Jasper disappeared from I don't know which person it is. Christopher is the original person that Victor grew up to watching with Jasper.
Hmm.
Jade is the current day version, I guess, of Christopher, where he sees the signs that
Hmm.
Christopher used to see. So it's got to be one of those two. And I feel like Jasper will start talking when Jade gets in front of him because that's who, you know,
Yes, that's who it is. Because I feel
yeah.
like maybe we'll talk to Jasper may speak to him. Because I mean, the only if he went to Sarah's, remember they ended that Sarah and Victor's part in the episode stopped when he was like, "Hey, I need him to tell me a secret." So maybe he somehow tells him just a little something, you know, and is like, "Hey, Victor," type of thing, and talks to him just a little bit, because that's all he only wants to give him a little bit, and then somehow he disappears and goes to Jade.
He just took Jasper from the cave, but he disappeared, right? I don't, I don't remember. Victor took Jasper, yes. I don't remember him disappearing. I think he was talking. Remember, he was hitting Jasper. He's a
Yeah, he was
abusive
punching
bubble guy.
him. He was putting the paws on him in that chair before Henry came in the room. He was like, "Tell me." Boo, boo, boo.
Victor's dad was like, "This has got to stop."
Yeah, he was like, "Whoa,
But
bro." Son, you're a
it's
little off right now.
yeah, that's what's so. I think it's very interesting in that regard too because Victor's dad is not sharing with the group. And this is what makes me angry. The same issue I have with Tabitha. Same issue I start to have with Boyd. And Boyd is my dog. But Boyd don't share nothing with the group. Like, damn near ever. Remember him and Sarah got lost in the woods? And she's like, what happened? What'd you see? Nothing. You liar. You
And then it took
liar,
him
you.
almost fainting like 5,000 times for him to be like, "Fine, I got worms in my body, guys. Sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't tell you."
Like, I remember he got bit by the spider, but he heard his wife's voice. He got to start talking too. Boyd is also, as great as Boyd has been, Boyd is also one of the leading culprits of the foolishness that
Yes.
people are suffering from. And he's the leading culprit. Tabitha is probably the highest. Tabitha is the highest. Tabitha will not tell yo, there could be toxic gas in the room next door. And Tabitha be like, oh my god, maybe we should just jump out the window. And she's like, what?
When one of
No,
them's already passed
let's
out
just
on
go
the
out this door and go downstairs. She'd be like, no, 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 no.
I feel like
You gonna
she
tell me this?
I just don't understand the husbands being so terrible. And Ellis, terrible husband. Boyd, terrible husband. Jim,
The
the worst husband. Like, Jim
the
takes the cake,
wives,
definitely.
Jim does take the cake. Jim might be the worst character on the show. Not character wise in the sense of his character is poor, but like the decisions they got him making and how his personality is, you just want to choke him. You're like, Jim,
Why
what
are
are you
you? Yes,
doing?
yes. Like, why you? No, like when he was the reason Randall tied up Donna because he put in that his mind like, oh, this is fake, this is real, blah blah blah. And then she was tied up, and he was like, why did you do this, Randall? And Randall's like, maybe you put this in my brain, and he did. He totally did put that in Randall's brain. Like, yes, you did
Yeah,
put this in my mind, and now you're gonna be weird to me. Like, why you being weird to me, Jim? Jim's weird to everybody.
I ain't gonna hold you. As much as you give the bad husband awards out, I would be remiss if I didn't give the bad wives out.
No, yeah, no, none
Number
of them.
one.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
I gotta get mine off because you just flamed them dudes, and I'm gonna let you
Abby,
get that.
Abby obviously tried to kill everybody, so she's the worst wife.
Yo,
But
Abby is the worst.
yes,
Abby is no, Abby didn't even try to kill everyone. I mean, she did, but she succeeded in killing several people and was
several.
about to put. She about to kill Donna and about to kill her son. Boom. And going back to Abby, if you know in the chat, please let me know as well. Abby says she had a dream about this as a kid when she was a little girl. She said, I used to have these dreams as a little girl, which we're
Mm-hmm.
now finding out Tabitha had those similar. We don't know if it's those dreams specifically, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like one of the reasons why things are so disconnected is because Abby died. Because you can't replace Abby with Tabitha. That can't happen because Tabitha, Abby, Jim, Boyd are within the same age range. And we now know Tabitha was having these dreams as a child. So that means you can, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, Abby died. You're an adult. Now we're going to give you these dreams and you're going to get stuck here with your family. Nope.
I
It's
guess
not how
it's
it
the
works.
same thing with Victor though, because what makes them suppress these things that they
Well,
forget? Because how did Victor forget he had a whole sister until they found the pictures in the trunk? You know what I mean? Like, how did
uh,
he suppress that and not tell anybody prior to this? Oh, I had a sister.
well, I'm gonna just call you the fix, bro, because I can't. I don't want to get your name wrong. You know what I'm saying? But what up? What
Yes,
up? What up? We'll see you in
yes.
the chat. Um, I think so. Here's the bad part about Victor, right? Victor has seen the worst of the worst things and lived through. He was alone for I'd have to say at least a decade, minimum, because he was a little kid. They don't give it timelines about when everybody came in. Only some people. So with that being said, Victor's a little kid, and now he's a grown adult. Donna was there longer than Boyd. Boyd said he was there 18 months in season one, I believe it was. So, we don't know how long Father Kachi was there and all those other random town people that don't even talk. We don't know who.
Mhm.
So Victor is so much trauma. That's right, Christina. Trauma. He has probably repressed memories. Like, I'm surprised he remembers to brush his teeth. You know what I'm
Do you
saying?
think it's because I don't want to like? Would it? Is it because he's kind of still so childlike that you know how
Yeah,
kids suppress things? So it's just that he's still pretty much like a child that he's able to just be like, oh, I gotta forget this. Oh, I gotta
yeah.
forget.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, he was probably like 6, 7, 8 when he saw these things. People slaughtered. Then the little boy in white, he's seeing ghosts. The ghosts are leading him to safety. So it's like, and just the other day, he was riding with his mom and his sister in the car. I don't now. Correct me if I'm wrong. On the show, we've seen his mother's body. Right, she was laid out by the bottle tree, but we never saw, and she was ripped. Y'all know she had the standard mo for when the monsters get you. Your
Yeah,
joint is all split, but we never saw Elo. What's his sister's name? Eloise. Eloise.
Eloise. Eloise.
Eloise. Yeah, yeah. The
I feel
trauma, and he
like.
never learned to
So,
interact
do you
with
think
people.
one of those little kids? Because Victor's never seen the other little kids. Do you think one of them is Eloise, and just everyone else that's seen them doesn't know that that's who that is? Because the
No,
rocks have
I
to
don't.
be red because it's blood, like blood sacrifices. That's why everything is kind of centered around the blood. Like Boyd's, your blood is my blood. Like there's always something related to blood. So there's gonna have to be a blood sacrifice, Ethan. Hopefully, So like maybe they took Eloise because they didn't really like. You know what I mean? Like maybe they
I
took
think
her.
we're getting set. I think we're getting set up. She could be. My first thought was Eloise was in the woods, and that's who they were hearing. Because one thing we know about the monsters, right? You can go back and watch
Mhm.
any episode. When the monsters come and they come to the homes or wherever you're staying at, they always try to get in. They never not try. They always
Mhm.
try, unless they had the game plan like they did for the ambulance. But they didn't try to get in any homes. They kind of just left that part out, executed their plan. Anytime the flipped RV went up, you know what I'm saying? They was on the roof. They was doing. They was
Oh
all.
yeah, they were
Hey,
like
come on.
under even, like hitting under the thing because they live in the
Yeah,
garden,
they
the
were
caves. Yeah.
always trying to go around, get in. So the fact that when Kenny and Jim were out there night one, The thing in the woods they hear it, but it's never tried to get in. Makes me feel like it's not a monster. Now, what
Yeah.
is it? So far, we've seen ghosts or slash apparitions. They appear during the day. I don't think there's too many times. Like, remember when it was raining in the forest and the boy in white popped up and he was telling Sarah, was like, "Hey, go in there." You know, but it seemed like he was in a hurry because the storm was coming in. But it feels like when it's dark, the ghost can't come out.
Yeah.
And the monsters do, and the monsters are bad. But in the day, so far, I think all the ghosts have been good. The boy in white has done not,
Yeah.
he done helped Victor. They done played double dutch. They done swung on, they done went on the merry-go-round.
Yeah.
The boy in white good. The Anakui kids, the Jurgens babies, all them
Yes.
ashy kids with no head and shoulders. All
I
they've
mean,
been trying to
yeah,
do is
'cause
get their
they
hair
touched
braided.
Tabitha, but they didn't really do anything to her. Like they just kept like touching on her, but nothing happened when they touched her at all. So
They evaporated. They
yeah.
felt that lotion skin. It was like Anakui. And
That's
they were just
funny.
gone. Once you
Uh-huh.
feel that moisture,
The
them
moist,
kids
the
ain't
wet.
had head and shoulders in a minute. Christina, how do we know the boy based on anecdotal evidence,
But
evidence that
that's
we have
how
seen
that's
on
but
show?
I agree with her because I feel like the same thing. Like that's what I was telling you. Like they all seem to have their own little motives and they pick certain people for whatever reason. Because remember, there's that all those ones that were knocking at the bus. They loved Randall. They loved picking on Randall. The nurse lady was like, "We're keeping Randall," because I feel like Randall was her personal favorite. But I don't think, like I said, I don't think they ate Randall because Randall's got the bugs. And if they eat the bugs, you saw what happened to the Smiley guy. He died. So they couldn't really kill him.
I think Randall has the bugs. So we got to make some. Well, I'm gonna make some distinctions based on my
Mm-hmm.
Lord. Boyd had worms that turned into the cicadas, but
Mm-hmm.
ever since they got the cicadas have not done the same thing to them that the worms did to Boyd. Boyd was all up in his skin. He was
Uh-huh.
and then when he put that on Smiley, and he was like, "My blood is your blood, motherfucker," and he
Mm-hmm.
did that, and it killed Smiley. It killed him. But downfall to that, Kenny has a dream while they're in the hospital house
Yeah.
of the cicadas in a boiling pot. It
And
jumps on
they
his
burn
arm,
him.
burns him. He wakes up, gets Boyd. They go down to check the monster, and there's those cicadas. So Kenny has seen the cicadas, but doesn't have the same dream effect. But since they've seen cicadas, cicadas have not had the same effect that the worms had.
Do you
So
think
there's got to
if
be.
Randall and or Muriel or Julie tried to do the blood, my blood is your blood to someone, then it would
Oh,
be
they're getting
worse?
smoked. No, they're getting smoked. They are getting smoked. If they be like, my blood is your blood, they're gonna be like, yeah, it is, and they're just gonna knock them off. It's done because Boyd had something literally crawling in. Like we haven't seen anything like that from Julie or Randall.
Yeah.
They just keep seeing the cicadas, and when they got the cicadas in them, because the cicadas was okay. You remember? And did you ever see Batman vs Superman
Yes. The one
with
with Ben
Henry
Affleck.
Cavill? Yes. Okay.
Yes, I saw.
So
Yeah.
Doomsday was created because they took the blood of Zod, mixed it
Mm-hmm.
with human DNA, and it created, which is so stupid in logic, but whatever, it created Doomsday,
Mm-hmm.
right? But under that same type of logic, blood Lloyd had Lloyd Boyd had worms, but when he mixed it with the monster, they grew and became something different. We can't get the worms back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boyd's best bet would have been giving him some, taking his hand off, and be like, I still got these worms, and maybe he could have hooked another one up because the worms kill the monster. However, once in the monster, they grow and become something totally different. Then they
Yeah.
infect humans. They don't even affect the monsters. But the monsters, when you're itching and scratching from cicadas, they don't bother you.
Mm-hmm.
Randall was right in front of them, and they all gathered around and looked at him, which was very
That's
similar
why
to
I'm
me.
wondering if they go back into someone else. That's why I'm wondering, wouldn't they be worms, not
No,
cicadas? Because it
no,
would go
they're
back to its
cicadas.
primal state.
They're cicadas. When they went into Julie, Michelle, and
Mir-
Randall,
yeah, Randall. Yeah, yeah.
they it the cicadas took them to be chained. and they never went back to a worm form. So, and Apparition Abby, told Boyd they wanted you to do it. Like, they laughed at you.
Oh yeah,
They
they did.
wanted you to do that.
Yeah.
So it
But
was
that's
like a
where
part of
I'm
a
confused, I guess, why then the old man that was locked up, why did he have worms and not cicadas in his, you know what I mean?
because he could. So that's an interesting question. But the guy, the old man Martin or whatever, said they're watching him. They got him chained up. They'll come back. They were toying with him, but they never get. I'm assuming they never gave a way to get killed by Martin. Had the key to killing him. He,
Oh,
for
so that's
some
why they
reason,
didn't want him to get out?
yeah, don't get out. Don't mess with him either because they don't. They probably don't. Remember when Randall did the Power Ranger thing with
Mhm.
the talisman? The monster immediately said that's not how that works.
Silly,
Right?
yeah.
So the monsters are very aware of how the rules of the town work. When Boyd came outside and he slit his wrist, and he was like, "My blood." No one said anything. No one was like, "What are you doing?" Or any. They was like, "I like this game." My
Yeah,
man,
because
like
they didn't know that was gonna happen, and they just kind of. That's when the monsters' faces drop, though, and they're like,
they dropped.
"Wait a
So I
fucking
think
second."
they
Yeah.
kept Martin alive because Martin didn't have cicadas in him. He had worms, which the monsters might recognize that, hey, chill. And he had a music box. The music box was kind of tied to Martin. And whenever the music played, the monsters stopped. So it's like the cicadas are the monsters' transformation of these worms working for the monsters. If you can get worms back somehow, this I don't know if there's a way to. I don't know
Because
if
I'm
there's a way to.
wondering what he kept. Because Martin also said they're coming, kind of thing.
Yeah, he was scared.
And it was like, who is this they? Like, is it the monsters? Is it someone else? Like, who is it that was keeping him there? Because whoever was
Yeah.
keeping him there was obviously torturing him every night, it seems
Yeah.
like torch,
Feeding
like,
him just enough to be alive.
yeah, exactly. That's why he was like, kill me, just kill me.
Yo, cicadas go into Earth and lay eggs. Like they stay like if you ever been in like the northeastern states where they get that 32-year cicada, there's
Oh, we
that
get
those are
those here too. Yeah,
millions
we
of
have them. They're in the trees and everything.
cicadas laid eggs in Fatima somehow. I don't know if they've ever had contact with Fatima. So I don't know if anything is possible, right?
Oh,
I
maybe when
think
she had sex with Ellis.
well
Because
she's been
remember,
having
he
sex with
still
Ellis.
gets Boyd's blood. At the end of the day, there's still the transfusion, and we don't know. Yeah, the bugs all went into, the monster, but what if there was still some residual kind of thing?
Boy, that messed up. I didn't think about that. He said he was good and did the transfusion, but we don't know the ramifications of that. And now you done gave my man contaminated blood. He been sleeping with Fatima. Fatima got a monster, but Fatima's ribs was like, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of the autopsy of Smiley, where his body was super dehydrated on the inside,
Yeah,
causing what's her name? The doctor,
Christy was freaking out.
Christy. Yeah, she said it looked like they were human at one point.
What
What's the bad food? You know?
the ones that he shot, the monsters that he shot, did they come back? Do we see them again? Like those particular ones?
I can't give you an honest yes.
Because I can't remember. Because I don't see, there was I don't know if he was a black dude, but when they were outside the trailer or the RV, wherever, that Jim and his family came in, there was a guy dressed as Jasper almost looking. And we haven't seen him again. I haven't seen him again at all since that one episode. And it was a monster that was dressed in a tuxedo and was kind of darker. That's why I don't know if it was like a black person or like just a person with makeup or something. But there was that
Um,
one there, and I haven't seen him again since they started showing Jasper, honestly.
yeah, I think the Jasper thing is gonna be a big deal. I mean, I think I don't really know what he could tell him that could reveal the secrets of why the whole town died, but it might be something to do with so and so was trying to get the children and they were unsuccessful. Once you're unsuccessful, if you get killed, because remember, her, Victor's mom was killed. That might end the game if you because there's a certain person chosen to do every certain thing. You know,
Well, what if one of the memories that Victor has suppressed is seeing Eloise's body also? Because remember when he first got that weird crayon thing, he thought that was his memory. And then when they went to the car, that's when he realized that he was like, this isn't mine. Like, these aren't my drawings. These are my sister's. And then all of a sudden, the sister was a flash and all these memories flooded back where he was like, oh, this wasn't for me originally.
yeah. That being said, it's a very interesting concept, which changes the game because she had visions and stuff too. So Victor very likely could have repressed a lot more stuff.
Or he could
And
have even like where they see, maybe they are all seeing each other's visions, just different parts, even. Like maybe whatever Abby saw, it was similar to what Tabitha saw when she was a little girl, but like they don't know that about each other, or they don't know that about the memories. Like they were all like you were like, what was it? What we were saying, like, oh, maybe there's more than one person. Like maybe it's like how they took when they took Julie, Randall, and Mario. Maybe there's these other, all of them have the same memory because they're all linked to do one thing, to be used for something by From. But I do believe that I think Fatima may accidentally hurt Ellis in some way, or something's gonna happen to her for sure. I just don't know if she's, because with her saying in the trailer, what if I hurt someone else? That's a clear sign she's gonna hurt someone else. Like, what if it's Elgin?
what if the monster? You know the monsters when they turn, like even though they look like they're in human form, but then when they take form, like they walk up on you, like yeah, like they do all this craziness, right? What if that torn part of her face is because Fatima does go at Ellis, and like her face gets ripped, like because she's not in a full transformation.
Do
Like,
you
what if
think
she has a
Elgin's gonna end is like Sarah, where they're gonna be like kill her, and he's not gonna be able to do it, and that's how
yeah,
she gets the slash because he's
definitely
supposed to
that
kill
could
her
be it
and he
too.
doesn't.
That could definitely be it too. Very much so. We know this. The first time we see Fatima in a kimono, everyone's gonna go, like,
Exactly.
yeah, that's
Because
gonna
she
be
takes
wild.
clothes with her. I'm assuming Ellis goes back to the house, gets some stuff, and no one thinks it's Fatima that killed, Tilly, because they show all of the group there in the little greenhouse, like trying to figure out like who was this that killed Tilly. And Donna's like, someone's gonna wanna, someone has to pay for this kind of thing. And it's like, why? Why? We already decided when Sarah came back that we weren't going to do stuff to people that accidentally or killed someone. So why? Because
Yeah.
you killed Tilly, all of a sudden we're going to go back to doing crazy stuff again.
Well, I think after Tabitha coming back and they seen Dale get stuck in the wall and stuff, people are gonna demand action. People will demand
Well, what
action because they
action
get
can you demand? Like, there's nothing. At the end of the day, they could all
nah.
go in the tree and die. Like, is that what you're gonna do? Send Fatima in a tree and then she's gonna end up somewhere good? Like, how silly of y'all. Because she's
In the
obviously
tree.
someone's favorite. Like, I feel like all these monsters and ghosts have a favorite. Like, they all have a favorite one of these villagers that they're like, ooh, this is mine whenever they die. Like, this is the one. This is the one I
Yeah,
want.
right. Well, I think it'd be kind of interesting because again, if they have favorites, I think you're right. They're showing who they kind of have an affinity for, and then
Because
we're kind of
Smiley
like, oh,
really loved Boyd. He was always where Boyd was.
yeah, but
Wherever
now
Boyd
it's the
was, he would
cowboy hat
follow.
guy,
The what?
the cowboy hat guy, where he's like, you said we can break you.
Well, he probably turned into, Boyd was his favorite after Smiley was gone. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I like him. He's
Maybe
smart.
that might be true for a few because Boyd killed one in front of them. Like the lady who told Victor, "You keep coming down here, we're not gonna let you leave."
Yeah.
Oh, brother, that's a
And she
threat.
was one of the ones that pulled up when Smiley got killed too.
Yeah, she was there firsthand. She saw it. Yeah, R.I.P. Smiley. You know what I'm saying? We gotta put that up there, man. They
God
gotta
will never
find a way to
forgotten
bring Smiley back.
Smiley. We R.I.P. Everybody gets R.I.P. But yeah, because I feel like the nurse really likes Randall. That's why she was so like, we're keeping him when the ambulance thing happened. I think the old lady really wants Ethan because the grandma, she seems to really like
Oh yeah,
kids. Because she took their little girl too, was like, hey, I'm your grandma, type of thing. And that's how she got the little girl by the window to open the window. So I think she's just like good with kids, so she wants the kids. Like she's how they get the kids.
damn.
You know what I mean? Like I think the old lady likes Victor a lot because she always shows up with Victor too. That's like the second time she's shown up when Victor's around, I think. There's
Yeah.
just so many
She's
questions that and Big Jim over there is over here being jealous of Jade.
Yo, why you call him Big Jim?
Big Jim, because he's trying to be a cool
Oh man.
guy. Big Jim daddy over here.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jim's got a lot to figure out.
I had sent you that other thing through Twitter. They have a link to a episode, the little part of the episode where Jim and Jade get into it, and Henry's there just trash, like drinking in the bar. Like they're all in the bar, and Jim comes in. So I know that's another preview that's coming up.
Do you if do you think this creates animosity and disdain between Jim and Jade? Because his wife, who they were divorcing, but maybe they're not now. We've seen the kids make references to everything's good here because we weren't doing all this together stuff before. They're even going on adventures. But Jim is like, when she pops out the forest with Jade, and Jade's like, I told her to bring him. Like,
That's what I'm
what?
saying. That's what they touch on. They're gonna touch on that in this episode. I only know that because I
Oh,
saw that little preview, and like Jade and him go at it. Like Jade's just like, bro, Jim, chill out with your blue collar stuff, okay? Like we get it. You're their dad, but you're trash. Like he literally calls him out. It's a good. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be good. What I did see, because Henry's literally just sitting at the bar watching them, like and they're just going at it and they're just talking like to each other, just going back. And Jim's like, stay away from my wife, she's in a fragile state. And Jay's just like, shut the fuck up, Jim, I'm over you. Like you just see Jade like, I'm over you, I'm over this. Like who cares who gets the information is the savior at the end of the day. Because it's true, like what does it matter? Whoever gets it right and can get everyone out of there. So why does Jim want to be this savior? Because he's terrible at everything he chooses to do. So
I
why do you
think
want
it's
to
a
be the
mixture of
savior?
his wife. Like, I think he's got the man card of where it's like, that's my wife. And, because he did make a reference in that fight that she was the one who wanted the divorce, not Jim. So
Oh, I see.
she feels the need that I can do what I want. You know, I bet you it's like, I can do what I want when I want because I'm not doing anything bad. But
Yeah.
in Jim's mind, it's like someone's spending too much time with you. I don't trust him. I think he's a piece of shit. He's impeaching on my family.
Yeah. Especially
Yeah,
because
I
they
think
don't seem to be trying to work together no more. But I mean, what does he expect from her? Like he keeps like downplaying every single thing she says, but then every time she says something, it's so important to everybody else except Jim. Ethan knows it's important. Jade, Henry, like everyone knows what she's saying is important to the plot except Jim. Because Jim, at the end of the day, he doesn't care about her for real. He cares about being the one that saved everybody. You know what I mean? He's the only one in the whole show that's like, I need to save everybody. But
man,
like,
that is
you know what I mean?
that
Like,
is
Roy does not
yeah.
care about being the savior. I think at one point he definitely was like, yeah, I want to be the one, but then he just turned instead into, I'll protect everyone. And then, Donna's the one that protects everyone over there. Like, I think everyone comes into it wanting to be like the one that solves it. Like Kenny was telling Acosta in the diner, like everyone
Yes.
comes in with these ideas. They want to be the number one. I got us out of here. But at the end of the day, like, who cares who gets us out of here? Just get us out of here at this point. Like, just get.
Yeah.
I already saw Dale attempt to get us out of here. Failure. Complete failure.
Yo, Jedi music. Yeah, deep. Yo, that's a deep concept of the mind of how it's working, because I never even noticed that construct that's happening in front of us. Everybody thinks what she says is important, except Jim.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, damn, he was always like, no, you need to stay here. And she's like, I have to do something. Like, it has to, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
everyone else is like, yeah. We just go into the woods. They even bring their boy. They bring Ethan.
Yeah, like everyone includes everyone except Jim. Because even remember with the tower he built, he didn't even want Jade's help, but then Jade figured it out, so he had to let him help him. He had to, because he figured out there's electricity, let's do it this way. Like, he wouldn't have figured that out. Jim, I'm the best at everything, was not figuring that out. Like, he was already done, like, with the tower. And then all of a sudden, Jade is like, hey, there's power. Let's do this. And why did he get that? Because he was talking to Tabitha, and they were talking about stuff, and then boom, that's where the thought comes.
Damn, yo, like, oh man, we might see a whole new relationship.
That's what I'm saying, like, because like I said, I've seen that scene already. So I totally, when I saw that, that's when I was like, oh, now I get Jim. Jim literally just wants to be the savior of the town. He wants her to come back to him because I was the one that saved us. And it seems like she's the one that's saving everybody else. Like, that's why it's like, oh, he's almost jealous of her. That's why he kept telling her, like, stay inside. I'll use your ideas even. But I'm not going to tell anyone it was you.
Right. That just blew my mind. Like, I never even saw that in there, and now I'm like, oh my god.
I mean, I had kind of seen it. Like, I kind of was like, why is Jim so like this? Because I hate all of that Matthews family. I'm like, I don't understand what they're doing, but like, I hate them all. So like when I saw that, I know it's ahead of the the episode, but when they showed that, they dropped that little thing, I was like, oh, this whole time Jim just wants to be the one. And everyone else is kind of working together because they're like where Jade's at. Like, who cares who figures everything out? There's so many of us that have so many different parts of the puzzle. Like Ethan likes to say, it's a puzzle, it's an adventure. Like, so many of us have different parts in this, but I don't think Jim has a part in it. I think Jim is just a dumb husband that got brought along. You know what I mean? And he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. He's just
man. Thomas called Jim. Hey, Jim, better tell your wife to stop digging. You know what I mean? Like, you're right. I think that could be correct. That Jim doesn't really have. There's no premonitions for Jim. There's no nothing. He just kind of gets involved. Harebrained scheme. He ends up in some stuff, but nothing's talking to him.
He's like the stooge of the show, and he's mad about it. Like, oh no, I gotta be the three stooges all in one, trying out all these stupid ideas. Like, he gets all the dumb ideas, and everyone else gets all the good, like, premonitions. They get to talk to the ghosts. And I don't see, he's not any particular ghost demon person's favorite. You know what I mean? He's one of the only main characters. Like, yeah, he gets talked to, but he never gets talked to in a smart way or gets told anything that's, like, gonna be important at the end of the day. Like, if the house had fallen, someone would have eventually gone to find Tabitha and been like, oh no, there's a hole. Like, he really just got so lucky that he heard that on the radio with Donna.
Like, it's funny you say that, because when Ethan called and Thomas called, they talked to Ethan. They gave him pertinent information that saved his wife, mom, depending on which perspective you're looking at, saved their life. Jim, it was like, they're not your children anymore. Jim. Like, the ghosts don't even like him.
That's what I'm saying.
Pack Jim up.
No one likes Jim. No one likes Jim. But I feel like he's like almost like the NPC characters. Like, he's almost as not important as they are. Like, he could die and it would be like, oh, okay. That's cool. You know,
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't be devastated. Like when Nikki died once again, when she got shot, I was like, what were you doing in the window? You silly woman. You hear shooting and you go to the window? No. No. Why
yeah,
would
she
you do
definitely.
that?
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to this. Remember, this Sunday we have a watch party. 9 o'clock. We'll be on as the actors of the show from.
Mhm.
Um, I don't want to go through all the names. You got Harold Perrineau,
Elizabeth Sanders,
Elizabeth Saunders. Yeah, Elizabeth.
Scotty.
Yeah, I gotta like pull their name. It's a
Yeah,
bunch.
Nathan
Ricky
Simmons,
D,
DB Simmons. I don't
Scott
know. Jim's
McCord.
not important to me. Not important to me, Jim. I'm done with Jim now.
We
I'm
gotta
even
separate the art from the artist. We
Jim,
gotta separate the art from the artist, man. We can't. Jim is a good guy,
I'm sure he's a great person outside of
right?
this show, but this show just no.
Yeah, the show is definitely taking it to another level for him. But yeah, that's do you have any other theories or thoughts you think we need to cover going in? And if you're in the chat, definitely what is something that is looming in your brain right now as we get ready to go to episode 8? There is 3 episodes left total. Episode 8, episode 9, episode 10. Episode 9 and 10, I believe, according to synopsis, it's a two-part episode, but they always seem to pick up on each other, but they
Yeah.
both have the same name. One is entitled Revelations chapter 1. The other one is Revelations chapter 2. So, and then this one
I
is called
I
Blessed.
feel like I think Acosta's gonna be definitely whatever her first name is, it's gonna throw everybody off. Like it's probably gonna be like Eloise or some variation of the name Eloise or even of Abby, like his wife. Like it's gonna be some variation of them. Cause they always seem to have like the same looking characters, if that makes sense. Oh wait, but I don't know because I don't know if they had a black person when Victor first got there because I don't remember seeing any bodies of anyone that didn't look white at that. But then
I, I,
probably
I
was
think
racist
that I
times.
think they didn't show. I think they probably had a diverse, but I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but
Hmm.
time periods matter. I think Victor gets there around 1978 ish, and the reason I
Yeah.
come to that conclusion is because when you look at the steps on the lighthouse that Tabitha was going up when she came out of the basement, there was several years. One of them is 1864, which Jim said was in a bottle, and so there's years, and I think those are the years that the cycle happens where they bring people on into Fromville, and
Hmm.
then once they all die out, or they die out to a minimum, like oh, there's only one left, bring on a new cycle.
Yeah.
He'll have to live into the next cycle, like Victor has. Victor has lived from one cycle into the next because it says the last entry on that step, the last entry closest to our year is 1978. And if you do the
Yeah.
math, if you're 82, Victor in 78, because he was in from, had to have been
Yeah.
about 6. So 4 years from that puts him at 46 plus another 6, that puts him at 52. That put Victor at 52 years old, story-wise time. If the
Hmm.
story takes place in 2024, he'd be at 52, which would mean his dad is around 72,
Yeah.
75. And that makes his character look about that age too. So I think that is a correct because they don't like to tell you the time. Like Boyd said he was there for 18 months, but they don't like giving too many times. That makes it very tough on the writers because one thing you may not remember is what you told us, but the us remembers what you told us.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. Yeah, and even when she goes back into normal time period, they don't give us any years. They don't give us nothing of
right,
what time period it is even. So it
right,
could be 2020, it could be 2019, the 2010s. We don't know what year it actually is.
correct.
So that would make a lot of sense too, I guess. You're right. Ugh, this is just too much for my brain. Like because I know every time we think it's one thing, they completely throw everything off. So that's why I
Yeah,
feel like
I get it. That
I feel like my prediction is maybe Fatima is gonna, with the Elgin Fatima going into the bunker, I think one of them is gonna like end up hurting each other. Just because Fatima's single line of I don't want to hurt anyone else. Like we saw you stab someone and you kind of alluded to maybe hurting someone this whole past 9 episodes, even from when she first became pregnant in season 2. Like, she kept saying that she felt she was getting meaner and she couldn't understand why. So, like, the buildup. And then, like I told you, Elgin's gone through like 5 accents at this point. When he first came, he was kind of British. And then after that, he had his grandma, like his country grandma's voice. And then he had like this weird, like normal voice. And then he had another voice. So I'm just like, what? Who are you, Elgin? You're a great thespian. I get it. But who are you? Like, what is it? We saw your range. We see your range. I got you, Elgin. But like, who are you? And then, like I said, that big girl in the blue with the bandana, she's in every single, like, anyone that's been seen a ghost, that's seen the demons, that's seen, you know, the kimono lady, she's always there when they go into their trances, and she's the one that seems to bring them back out of it. So I want to know what the big lady does. I think she's the op. Even though everyone thought it was Tilly, I think Bandana Big Girl is the op.
I don't think they have an op because they all seem to be able to get in the house. Remember, Fatima couldn't get in the house. Fatima cannot get in the house. So I don't know. It'd be very interesting. But
Yeah.
I definitely think some random person's going to discover the body. They're all going to get there. They're going to have a nice little round table around the body. And that's when people are, because again, they may not even catch on to it. Well, where is your son? Where is Fatima? Where's Ellis, right? So I don't know if they'll catch on to it directly, but and from our knowledge, Tilly's the only one that's been seeing her eat the raw vegetables, the spoiled vegetables, except for Ellis. So I don't know if Ellis will give that information out or not.
Well, because I feel, that just clicked too. What if since they're hiding in the bunker, since she can't eat the vegetables, you know, Elgin's a little hefty. Maybe that's when she finally is like, I'm going to eat somebody. And it happens to be Elgin. Because he's
I don't think they eat anybody. I'm going to stick by my guns.
They said, I read somewhere that they've been eating just the stomachs, that they're not eating any part except the stomachs. Because if you remember, I think if we go back to the Tien Chen episode when she died and they show her body, only her stomach is missing. Because they're eating the stomachs. For sure. I know that. That's missing from their bodies.
I don't know. Until you see it, they're just ripping them apart. Because again, we've seen them bite flesh and spit it out. In the episode where they took over the colony house, that girl was kissing him, and she clawed his back, bit his tongue off, spit it out. And then they also, fixed. Yeah, it's possible, but we haven't seen any monster just and just take a bite out of somebody. So I don't know.
These better not be vampires. Once again, I'm gonna be so upset if these are vampires. Like, I'm just gonna be over it. I know they're not werewolves because they shot them with silver bullets. So if they were werewolves,
they would die. Bullets. They had like urine on the bullet.
They had pee on them, but they were silver bullets. You know what I mean? So with werewolves, if you shoot them with silver bullets, that's usually the indication they're werewolves because they die. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they're a werewolf variation. They're definitely some kind of like vampire succubus.
I just think they're demons. I don't think the show wants to go into the vampire realm. I just don't think that would be a good look.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it. But then, like, I honestly didn't think that in that show, Midnight Mass, it was just going to be vampires. And then it ruined my life because I watched 3 episodes of it and all it was about vampires. And then it pissed me off and I couldn't watch the show anymore. Because I was like, oh, how boring. Boring. This is what you ended up being? Like, you lost me after the 3rd episode. Because, okay, he's a vampire, great. So now everyone's going to be a vampire. It's another crazy vampire story. And that's what I just don't want this to be. Like, not another crazy vampire story. So, yeah. But, yeah, my prediction is maybe Fatima or Elgin's going to get killed or eaten. Like, maybe he comes at her and she ends up having to kill him. So they're stuck in the bunker and she has to eat him.
If she does that, Boyd is going to flip.
But, yeah. And then, Ellis is going to come upon her. Ellis and, Boyd will come upon her. Because they're probably going to be the only ones that know she's going in the bunker. Because Ellis, I think in another preview, kind of like an extended one, they show Boyd and Ellis kind of talking, and Boyd has like they don't show you what they said to each other, but you just see kind of Boyd turning and look like God, like again, like God, another person type of thing. So maybe he tells, like, oh, because, yeah, like I texted you, I didn't realize that Sarah was 4 bodies in. That's a lot of bodies she's got on her
Yeah.
hands.
Oh yeah. I think I put a count up one time too. I think it was either you or something. Because she killed a boy when she jabbed him in the neck. She
Yeah.
left the door open. They killed the nurse and Kenny's dad. That's
Oh,
3.
yeah,
And
yeah.
she tried to kill Ethan, but she ended up killing
Her
her
brother.
brother.
Oh, you're right. Because there was the guy also, yeah, the guy that came with Jade, she killed him.
The Jade, yeah, she took him out quick. Oh, that's the
Oh.
only way for them to break Boyd. Fix.
That or something happens to Donna. Because I think if something happens to Donna, he's done with, like, he's gonna.
Nah, I think Boyd. I mean, I do agree with you. If something happens to Donna, Boyd will go crazy. But if something happens to Ellis, that's his son.
Yeah.
And then the person who kills him, what if they like, hold on, I can feel it kicking, and then they touch her, and it's the baby kicking, and it's like, holy shit, something is growing inside her. But Boyd is like, if I kill her for what she did to my son, then I lose my grandson.
Do you think it's like a soul for a soul thing?
Uh,
Like Ellis has to die for that baby to like be able to form into a baby. If not, you just turn into the monster. That would be fun. I would enjoy that actually. I'd be fine with that. Like, oh, it's a soul for a soul. That would make sense.
crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That would be crazy. That would hurt me. That would hurt me. That would
Because we
hurt.
still
I ain't
got to
gonna lie.
figure out why the son is calling, to talk to
And he
Ethan.
gave him information about the mom straight up. Hey, your mom's coming. He didn't say your mom. He said mom is coming in ambulance.
Yeah.
She needs our help. She needs your help.
There's just so many questions, and I know we're not going to get enough answers, and then it's going to go into season 4. I just hope they don't make us wait 2 years. Please come back
You know
and
what? You know what we can do when the season goes off, because we talked about this a little bit. When this goes off, we go back to season 1 from episode 1 and we start recapping. We'll do like re-theorizing from. And we'll
yeah.
do like watch parties too. Like, yo, we're gonna do a watch party episode 1. We got it. We're gonna start it this time with
Gotta
y'all.
re-go over this one, yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, we can pause it if we need to. I think that might be fire, chat. Like, definitely tap in with that. Because then it'll help to pass time a little bit.
Yes.
As we
While we wait for
re-theorize.
the next season, yeah.
Yeah, and we can do special looks. Like during the off time, we'll be like, "Hey, special look this week. This week we're gonna look at Donna and Donna's transformation, and all the information we can extract from the things she said and the journey she's been on, and we're gonna see where we think that person's gonna go going
Yeah.
into season 4. We can have some fire for y'all, but it's almost 3 episodes left. Let me see if the run times is on here. Something big happens in episode 9 because
Because it's
on
going to
this
be
thing
the
with the
longest one,
threshold,
right?
I don't know. So there's no information on episode 9 other than the title. But episode 10 it has the synopsis again. But 9 it says 0 minute. Oh, actually they both say 0 minutes. But there's no synopsis for episode 9. Only 10. So I think whatever they were gonna say would give away some big stuff. So I think something big happens in episode 9. Yeah, and I won't give away episode 10. Some people like the spoiler, some people don't. So we'll
Yeah.
just hold it down. We won't read that far out. But episode 8, we already read that synopsis. So I think I think we're cooking if we just do the episode that we're going into. It's not too bad. But I definitely see some stuff gonna happen. I do think a main character has to die. Will it be Ellis? Will Elgin succumb to the kimono lady? Is Jim gonna finally meet his own demise because he ain't giving up for his wife, and his wife
Well,
already got his
Ethan
replacement?
finally gets sacrificed. A girl can only
No,
dream that
is
Ethan gets
Randall gonna make it out with Julie? Like Randall and Julie tripping, Ethan and
I
Julie
don't like
tripping.
the
Like
crush
I don't
thing
know
they're
if
doing. I do not like the crush thing they're doing with Julie and Randall. Like, I get they have a bond, but we don't need them to bond like that, okay? there she's 16, guys. Whoa.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. So,
Mm-mm.
and will Boy finally get broken this season? Will we see him break before season 4?
Mm.
Because that is what the monsters are set out to do.
Yeah,
Break.
because Donna's already broken. Donna's
Oh.
broke. She was like, she was, on the line in season 2, but season 3 definitely has done her in. She is done.
Definitely. Wild ride.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
All these people she was protecting, and like her mother hen instinct is just done. She's over there being a drunk with Henry now. Like,
Being a
that
drunk.
I'm okay with. I'm okay with, the Henry and Donna thing. If that becomes a thing, I'm okay with that.
Me too. That feels like a feel good story. Because wasn't Donna having the orgy stuff? Because Kenny
Yeah, that's what
alluded
I'm
to it.
saying. Donna's a little freaky lady. Henry's dad's been just at the house being a drunk by himself for 40
Chilling.
years.
Knock that thing loose, bro. Go ahead and
Shut
do you.
up.
Knock that thing loose, bro.
He got his
You
own
gotta-
room. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey,
she's
kick your son out.
specializing him.
Kick your
You
son
know?
out. I appreciate Henry and Donna. I want them. For show purposes, because she is married to Dale in real life.
Yeah.
So, but for show purposes, you and Henry work.
For
Salute.
sure.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. I don't really have no more theories. Anybody else have any last things we think we need to discuss or anything else? Because if not, we gotta have to get out of here. And is the next time we're coming back going to be Sunday?
I think so. Yeah. Definitely.
I think also starting in the off season, I have an idea. I don't even want to put it out there because I feel like when other channels get it, they'll hear about it and they'll be like, "Oh, I'll do something like that too."
Yeah,
When
let's do
I'm
that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna wait till the season finale. I'm gonna announce it, but I already have the first 2 kind of episodes already done, thought out, and ready to roll for From. We do cover other stuff on the channel, Marvel stuff, but I'm kind of not been in. They've been kind of at a low. Agatha all along did some good stuff, but we'll get back to that when we get back to it. But at the end of the day, From right now is got undivided attention. That train is rolling. I don't even like to do promo stuff, but y'all, I'm trying to get a sippable. Some of y'all know me from the Attitude Era podcast, Mr. Sippable, King HP,
Yes.
aka Father,
We're
aka
trying to
Mr.
get some Sable for Jerry so he can
Sable.
try
Yeah.
it. Because I
And
don't
so
drink.
also
I just
we
want to
gotta
know what it tastes like. That's it.
we gotta tag Harold. That's Harold Perrineau's drink.
Yes.
Like he is a part of that. He is him and 3 others, I believe.
Yes.
Brought this drink out. So I definitely would love even to get him on the pod to do a taste, like a sampling with him. But we definitely, I specifically yeah. So we trying to look at that. We'll look into that, but hopefully we can get it before Sunday's episode, and hopefully in the future
Maybe
we
you
get
could
one.
do a Sable versus what is it? Mr. Davis kind of thing on the episode. Beyonce.
Oh, that'd be kind of fire. I'm From friendly though, so I don't think anything that is represented by From or From actors is gonna lose. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think it's gonna
so
happen.
either.
Because in my mind, they're all drinking Sable, unmarked bottles of Sable.
Just clear. This is the
just clear
vodka
versions.
that he started. He was just experimenting on the show, but then he started it for real. That could be true.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure he does an interview. Maybe I'll find that interview then of him talking about Sable. Like, what made you guys want to make this?
Hey, my goal is to get them on. We get them on. We can talk about hey, we get I would love to do it, but we'll tag them and stuff. But yeah, that's about it. That kind of wraps. Sunday 9:00. Watch party. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tap in. That's it. Really, I'm King HP. This is Dora, not the Explorer. And we will definitely be live. Watch party, and then we'll go right into the recap.
Yes.
So until next time, see you Sunday. Have a good one.